Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have the Book of Boba Fett Chapter 5. Obviously, there is a lot to reiterate from these first 4 episodes, and I'm not going to try to spend too much time because I do notice that I have taken about 6 to 7 minutes before each episode to talk about that, and I know that's not what you guys are here for, but I'm going to try my best to just get to some of the gripes I have really quick about these first 4 episodes. And really the only big gripe I have is the 3rd episode. I think the Vespas and all that obviously did not fit into Star Wars, especially Tatooine. And now that I have had a more critical look on the episode, I do think that it is probably not as good as I originally thought it was. Obviously there's fun aspects to it, but where it really strikes home is those first 2 episodes and last week's episode. Those have been really fun. I really enjoyed last week's episode, especially. The first 2 had a lot of people skeptical. I did enjoy them, and last week's episode I think really cemented a lot of people saying that this show's bad. I think a lot of them have flip-flopped now and are really on board for these last few episodes, especially with that tease of Din Djarin. And obviously throughout the entire episode we were getting little hints that he could possibly show up, and that's been a big time rumor for the last few months that Din Djarin was going to show up. And another big thing is that he's possibly going to show up in an Naboo starfighter from episode 1, the one that Anakin was piloting over Naboo and destroyed the Trade Federation ship, the control ship. So I think that would be really cool if he just showed up in this episode. And I'm really hoping this is not something they do again where they tease him out and then he shows up 2 to 3 episodes later. This is something that show really cannot afford right now, and that is a mistake. Not a mistake. I think it is a mistake if they do it in this series, but that is something the Mandalorian season 2 did with Ahsoka. I think she was teased out in episode 2 or 3, and then she later showed up in 5, I believe it was, the Jedi. So I think that fit well, but right now the fan base does not have a lot of patience with this show right now, so I think it would be a mistake if they teased him out last week and then he shows up, say, for the last 5 minutes of the finale. I think that would be really stupid on their behalf. But besides that, I'm really excited for the possibilities. Obviously, we have Din Djarin and all of that, but they're going to need a lot more help than just Din Djarin and hopefully the Darksaber, because they're about to face an entire army of Pikes, possibly Crimson Dawn, because we've heard themes, hints of the theme at the end of the Boba Fett score in the credits. So I think that would be really interesting. And obviously Kira and Crimson Dawn have been rumored to show up in this show for quite some time. So I think all of that stuff protruding in the background, I think that's really leading us to believe that they're going to need some big players on their side. Hopefully Bossk, Dengar, Cad Bane, possibly all of these other rumored characters that have been swirling around the rumor mill for quite some time. Hopefully they are going to come to fruition tonight or in these last 2 episodes after tonight. But I am very excited for all of those aspects. Hopefully this episode is a banger. But before we get started, I just want to say, if you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Memberships are now up on the channel, so you will get full-length reactions to any movies and TV shows that I am currently doing on the channel, those including The Book of Boba Fett, Cobra Kai, and Peacemaker. And I will be starting Arcane next week for the members first, and then those episodes will slowly and gradually come out on YouTube for the non-members. But without further ado, I'm super excited, so let's go. Come on, dude, please be good. Don't tease something and then have to make me wait a week. Oh, what the heck? Whoa, this is weird. Is it Din? Oh, yeah! Does he have the Darksaber? Oh my god, I love it. Does he have it? He does.
Who? That's not my business. I'm here to bring him in.
So he just went right back to bounty hunting.
But you look like the practical type.
Come on, do it to him.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Yeah! Oh my! Oh my god. That was awesome. That was so good. They mixed the two themes a little bit. Return of the Mandalorian. Oh, wow. Is this, what's this place called? That's so cool. What did he get hit by? I missed it. Did he slice himself with a darksaber? Looking for other Mandalorians, perhaps? Is that the armor? It is. No way. All the other... Oh, dude. Oh! So I guess this is where they all went.
Whoever wields it can lead all of Mandalore.
If it is won by creed in battle.
Well, he did win it in battle. Well, that's Paz Vizsla, right? And Pre Vizsla was like one of his ancestors, the one in Clone Wars, right? Unless I'm getting that wrong, so...
Then forge it into armor.
The dark saber is a more noble weapon.
I was gonna say, as long as he has a dark saber, it's fine. But that spear is pretty cool.
Had our sect not been cloistered on the moon of Concordia, we would have not survived the Great Purge.
Oh, no way. Wow. Dude. That's crazy. The K2 droids. So Mandalore was destroyed. Dude, this feels like The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1. I like how he's getting trained with the darksaber. That's pretty cool. Not just getting it and instantly knowing how to use it. Because we all know how that works.
Maybe the darksaber belongs in someone else's hands.
Maybe.
Do you agree to this duel, Din Djarin?
I do.
If he wins, I'm going to be pissed. Din better win this fight. Oh, those things look pretty cool in live action.
It is done. Din Djarin, have you ever removed your helmet? Have you ever removed your helmet?
I have.
Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
I mean, they're all technically unwritten Mandalorians, though. They really don't, like, they say this is the way, but they're their own path. They're not the traditional way of the Mandalorians. Because, I mean, they don't know that. They don't know the way. I mean, it sounds so silly saying it out loud, but, like, everything we've seen in Clone Wars just proves against them, in a sense. So I'm kind of glad he's kind of disavowed himself from that part of the Mandalorians. Dude, you could have showed me this in like 2 weeks and I would have believed that it was Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1. It's in the Yoda shape. I was gonna say, it's a BD droid.
What an entrance!
I was gonna say, who thought that scene was a good idea? I'm sorry.
Right this way.
Is it?
To have your
It is, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Can you stop moving? Just focus right here. Yes. Yes, thank you.
great.
Could that possibly be the same BD droid from Fallen Order? What was it? BD1, right?
Dated a jowl for a while. They're quite furry. Very furry.
For me?
I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't hear that. That looks good, dude. That looks really cool. Just don't blow it up, please. Damn. Oh, cool.
Dang, Ferric, she's fast.
Oh, cool. Oh, no way.
Hold on a second there, Lieutenant. I think we can let him off with a warning this time.
Thank you, officer. I'll have that taken care of.
One thing before you go.
Yes?
Your voice is mighty familiar. Did you used to fly a Razor Crest?
Fennec Shan.
I thought you said that the hangar security system was on. Don't get away from me. You come right back here. This is the third-
He sure would appreciate it.
Tell him it's on the house. But first, I gotta pay a visit to a little friend.
No way. So, if he's going to pay a visit to a little friend, he's with Luke. Dude. Okay, I gotta be straight up about this episode. This episode was so weird because it really played with my emotions in almost all the wrong ways and all the right ways. There were certain aspects of this episode that I loved. His introduction in the very beginning was perfect. That was exactly how I wanted Mando to show up. I didn't want him to just show up on Tatooine and then, start fighting with them and then not have the Darksaber or whatever. I thought that intro and entrance was perfect. I liked seeing his life on that ring. I can't remember what the name of that place is. I feel like I've heard about it in videos, and I feel like it's been mentioned in canon comics for a few years now. But it was interesting to see all that. But I feel like we spent way too much time there. If I'm being honest, I feel like he should have just gotten the message and then left after that bounty. Instead of spending time with the Mandalorians. I felt like that scene was a little bit useless, not for this show. Or it felt useless for this show. It didn't feel useless in the timeline of the Mandalorian. I feel like that could have been put into season 3, towards the beginning or at the end of this show. I just feel like we're not getting to the story of Boba Fett fast enough. I felt like they were just going to introduce Din in the first 10 minutes. I thought those first 10 minutes were needed, but once we got to the little fight between him and Paz Vizsla, I thought that was unnecessary, especially since it didn't lead to anything. It just led to Mando getting ousted from that little group of 2 or 3 Mandalorians that were left, which really didn't feel that impactful. So that little sequence right there, I feel like it wasn't needed, and I feel like we could have gotten an extra 10 to 20 minutes of story with Boba. We didn't even see Boba in this episode, which blows my mind. It just felt so weird, but and like I said, this just it's really playing with my head right now. I feel like I'm gonna have to watch it one more time. I want to love this episode because it was awesome pertaining to Mandalorian content. But we're so driven into this Boba. At least for me, I'm wanting more Boba Fett stuff, and I feel like this just kind of came out of nowhere with all the Mando stuff. It was really cool seeing him find the N1 Starfighter. I thought that was really, really cool. That had been rumored for a few weeks, actually a few months. So that showing up and him getting pulled over by the same guy from season 2, I thought that was really, really funny. And then how he kind of just boosted off the same way he did in season 2, I thought that was cool. But I think the sequence of them building the ship didn't have to be so long. I really don't like that lady's character at all. She just feels so out of pocket, so out of place. I can't believe they did some of the stuff they did with her in this episode. Like, who thought some of that writing was good, was a good idea? It just really didn't make sense to me, that whole scene. That lasted like 10-15 minutes. At least it felt like it lasted 10-15 minutes of them just building the N1 Starfighter. But the whole sequence of him testing it out in Beggar's Canyon and flying through like the same areas that the pod racing sequence from the Phantom Menace was in, I thought that was really, really cool. Neat callbacks. I thought whenever he flew out of the canyon, I thought he was going to go back in like Anakin did to pass the Boba. So I thought that whole sequence was really, really cool. And then obviously at the end we have Fennec showing up and then him saying that he needs to go visit a little friend. So obviously we know that Grogu's with Luke right now. So is he gonna go get help from Luke somehow? Because we've been hearing rumors about Luke showing up in this show too. And oh man, I feel like this is an immediate thought I just had. I feel like this season was originally 6 episodes. I think I'm gonna stick with this theory because this seems really plausible. Because I remember about 4 or 5 months ago, whenever this show was really just had rumors floating around. It was in the rumor mill. Nothing else was going on. We weren't getting any trailers, plot synopsises yet. Really no cast updates. It was just rumors and leaks. And we heard about Din Djarin showing up. That's been going on since summer. Luke showing up. The Han rumors didn't really start until a couple months ago. Kira showing up. Crimson Dawn. This bigger threat of like the Pikes and Crimson Dawn and these other big groups of people. Those rumors were floating around for a while, and then we had the Luke one. So this stuff seems really plausible, but I feel like this episode was not originally intended for this series. I feel like they went back and shot it. I think that they saw what they had for the last 3 episodes and were like, man, people are really going to want more Mandalorian stuff, more teases towards that, because they might have realized that they were really far off from season 3. I mean, we're about a year out from that, maybe even longer, because we don't know if they're shooting right now. We haven't really gotten official details on that, but I feel like this was definitely a episode that they went back, filmed, and just put it in because they felt like people weren't going to be happy with the amount of Mando content that we were getting in this show. And I think they did realize that this show was not living up to the expectations of fans even while they were making it. And I've heard a lot of other people say this show definitely feels like it was not planned at all. They just saw the success of the Mando season 2. They saw the success of Boba showing up at the end of episode 1 of season 2, and they were like, man, we got to plan a show really fast. So it all feels really, really rushed right now, and it feels like they didn't have the proper thought process of what they were going to include in this and what they were going to include in Mandalorian season 3. And like I said, this episode was far from bad. I just feel like it was not all needed. They could have got straight to the point of Mando helping them with the Pikes, getting more reinforcements. I mean, at this point, we have 2 episodes left, and we haven't even seen them clash yet. I mean, these 2 episodes are going to have to be over an hour long, these last 2 episodes. I mean, for them to really fit in all of this stuff and all these rumored characters like Bosk, Dengar, Cad Bane, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, where, I'm not saying all of them are going to show up. It's just like, where are these characters at? We have gotten one of the rumored characters. I don't think anyone was really expecting Black Chrysanthemum. I think he was rumored like after the first episode, as far as I can remember. But he wasn't like a long rumored character, unless I'm getting that wrong. So everything just feels so weird right now. I don't know if this is just me after my first impressions of the episode, but something feels really off. I feel like a lot of this episode was meant for season 3, and they pulled it straight out of season 3. I feel like these sequences were just shot like over the last few months while they were shooting season 3. Like, does that feel right at all to you guys? Do you agree with me on any aspects? I don't know. That's just really how I feel right now. But like I said, this episode was far from bad. I really, really enjoyed it. There was so much to love about this episode, and it just makes me all the more excited for next week because nothing really happened with the Boba Fett storyline, and that's really my biggest thing, is that nothing really happened with the storyline that I feel like we've been promised to get over the last 5 weeks of this show, and nothing has happened yet. And this is really the first episode where I'm frustrated at the fact that we didn't get any Boba Fett storyline stuff present day, because and it just happens to be the episode where Mando shows up, because we have 2 episodes left and really nothing has happened yet. Obviously we've had, I'm not saying all of this stuff isn't cool. It's really, really cool. It's just I wish they could incorporate it all into the same thing the way that the Mandalorian did. They would incorporate these characters into the storyline without going off and trailing with them for about 30 minutes and then bringing them into the story in the last 2 minutes of the episode. It just doesn't feel right the way they did it with this episode, and I'm hoping that they can continue to build upon these things like they did in season 2. I just feel like this episode was really out of place, but I really, really enjoyed it. What did you guys think? Let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you guys are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications, whatever you guys want to do to support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Memberships are now up on the channel, so you will get full-length reactions to any TV shows and movies that I have out right now. So, without further ado, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one.